First of all praises to the Father Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Ruachadash. Shabbat Shalom to all the brothers and sisters in recognition to observing this day for worshiping the Most High. Sundown this evening to sundown tomorrow evening. Let's get some worship, rest, and praises in my people. We definitely need to do so in these trying times and to let our Father know that we are converting back to his days and showing him that he's worthy of praise, which he know he is anyway, because we always got to remember, we need him, he doesn't need us. He saves us because he loves us and we are his children. And that's basically what it all boils down to. Okay? Yeah. That's just what it is. Okay? Now, let's get to this picture right here. This is a short video where a man caught this particular entity on his Ring doorbell camera. Okay? And you saw that, where this thing was like floating in the air. Now he seems to think that it's an angel or whatever. And it very well could be, but more than likely it's not. I'm gonna say that for myself. He seems to think that these are wings and the size of this giant's cheekbones right here. And this is the bottom half of it, But if you can look closely, always connect the eyes right here, just like with any entity's face in human form, the eyes, and then you got right here in the forehead up here, and then the nose that comes down into the chin, basically. Now there are other faces here, okay? There are other faces here, of course, but we're talking about the most prevalent one, and that's this one right here. Now, more than likely, as far as I'm concerned, this ain't nothing but a soul of a Nephilim giant, okay? And that's just what it is. That's what I believe it is. I saw an angel before. I saw a couple times, and they look a little bit different, than the Nephilim giants that the fallen ones came here to create. And we're talking about the fallen watchers. And by the way, this particular lesson right here was inspired by the Sister Queen I Know Who I Am, who, requested that, I do a little lesson on whatever happened to those watchers, the fallen ones that came here and did what they did, okay? And the book of Enoch basically goes into detail as to what happened with them, okay? Thing is this, they are still among us. But we're going to get into later, exactly what became of them. All right. As for, these things right here, it's finna get real, people. And that's just all there is to it, because they are even starting to show themselves more and more and more. As you can see, this one right here, or these particular ones right here in the night skies. Let's go over here in Luke 21. Let's see, I'm going here. Luke 21. Yeah. We got Luke 21 verse 26 here. Okay. The Most High Word has always warned us of things to come. Now it says here, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Well, I'm here to tell you today the powers of heaven have been shaken. We see, for those of you that's been with me for a while, I'm showing you these entities. Well, they've been here for a long time, but the thing is this, they're starting to make themselves more prevalent known. And a lot of people are starting to see, what I'm talking about. Because it's not only me that the Most High has put on to open my eyes and put on me to tell other people. It's other people with the same thing and things that they are seeing. Okay, and that's just what it is. And basically, this is what Luke 21:26 is talking about. Now, when you go to the camps the Hebrew Israelite camps, okay? They do not believe in fallen angels. They do not believe in Nephilim, the children of the fallen angels. But regardless of what they believe, it don't make no difference. Because, see, what I don't like about them when it comes to, topics like this is that anything that exceeds their little intellect, they want to, shoo it off like that's not true. When we have proof, you understand, that, yeah, these things are true, I did a video about 9 months ago, 2-part, about taking on Apostle Tahar of the GMS camp, telling him, here's irrefutable proof and compelling evidence. The book of Enoch is true, okay? So without further ado, and by the way, before we go to here, I haven't heard anything from him, and I know he's seen that particular video. I showed, as they say, receipts about these entities and them still being on this earth. You understand me? That's just what it is. Now, without further ado, let's go over here in the book of Enoch. Now, for those of you that may not know, Enoch was transfigured, translated, or what have you, taken up by the angels. He never even died in the flesh, but he was taken up by the angels, and he was showed a lot of things. And the angels told him a lot of things and taught him a lot of things about the mysteries of the spiritual world, and also the Father, the Hamashiach, and as well the Watchers. Okay, so here in chapter 6, we're going to start here with what the Watchers, these particular fallen angels, known as fallen angels, actually did to wind themselves up in the trouble that they be in to this day. Okay, starting here in verse 1, and it came to pass when the children of men had multiplied, that in those days were born unto them beautiful and comely daughters. Now, for the word comely, that means black, fair, okay? Just so you know, okay? Y'all excuse these pop-ups. Annoying, Jack, I tell you. To continue, and the angels, the children of the heaven, saw and lusted after them, and said to one another, come, let us choose us wives from among the children of men, and beget us children. And Simjaza, who was their leader, said unto them, I fear ye will not indeed agree to do this deed, and I alone shall have to pay the penalty of a great sin. So see right there, these particular fallen ones knew what they were doing was wrong. They knew it coming out the gate, but they did it anyway, okay? Because it was selfishness, and that's where a lot of these particular faults that we have as so-called human beings to this day. Anything that we have that we want to do, regardless of what it affects and who it hurts, it all boils down to our want, and that is selfishness, okay? Now to continue, and they all answered him and said, let us all swear an oath, and all bind ourselves by mutual imprecations, not to abandon this plan, but to do this thing. Then swear they all together and bound themselves by mutual imprecations upon it. And they were in all 200, okay? 200 of them, okay? So I guess 200 would be something like maybe a third of the angels that were kicked out of heaven, okay? To continue, who descended in the days of Jared on the summit of Mount Hermon, okay? And they called it Mount Hermon because they had sworn and bound themselves by mutual imprecations upon it. And these are the names of their leaders: Samlaza, their leader, Araklopa, Ramil, Kokobel, Tamel, Ramleel, Daniel, Ezekiel, Barakiah, Azazel, Amoroso, Bartarel, Ananel, Zachiel, Samzipiel, Satarel, Terrell, Jamjil, Saril. These are their chiefs of tens. Okay, so those are the chiefs of the 200 that came down here. You understand? Chapter 7 here. And all the others together with them took unto themselves wives, and each chose for himself one. And they began to go in unto them and to defile themselves with them, and them taught them charms and enchantments and the cutting of roots, and made them acquainted with plants. Now this part gets into what they taught them is voodoo, hoodoo, witchcraft, all that stuff right there. See, look at all of these laws that were broken that the Most High set, that these fallen ones, as it says here in the book of Enoch, they done. And they did it because why would women or anybody else that practice witchcraft know about these things? How would they know about them? There's no way for you to know about things like this if you were never taught from generation to generation. You understand? These people are doing things like this to this day, all the way back from when the fallen ones taught them. Now to continue, and they became pregnant, and they bare great giants, okay, whose height was 3,000 ells, who consumed all the acquisitions of men. And when men could no longer sustain them, the giants turned against them and devoured mankind. And they began to sin against birds and beasts and reptiles and fish, and to devour one another's flesh and drink the blood. Then the earth laid acquisition against the lawless ones. Lawless ones, that's the devil's forte right there. Okay? All of these things when it said that they done. Okay? See, this is the reason why the Most High brought along the flood, to actually kill the bodies of these monsters, because that's exactly what they are. I've seen other videos that I've done where you can find the fossilized giant bodies that become one with the earth, that actually when they died in that flood. Okay, the evidence is here, but you like I said, these camps, want to call people like me bug outs, and the evidence is here. But you know what I don't like about the camps is this: when you come with the receipts and show proof, then that's when they want to ignore it. You see, but you can't ignore the truth and what's real. Okay, because this is all here. When it talks about sinning against birds, beasts, and reptiles and fish, well, all of your so-called bird men, things that fly, that has wings, but in the form of a man, you understand? Then you got the beast here, which are like what they claim to be mythical creatures like werewolves and Bigfoots and all that old kind of stuff. And then you got reptiles, which is called, reptilians. All your reptilians that's mixed with half fallen, angel and lizards or what have you. Fish, if you remember, it was a movie back in a long time ago when I was a kid. Creature from the Black Lagoon. They revised the movie and it was called The Color of Water. Check it out sometime. That was a fish man. Okay? When it said they sinned against those animals, guess what? That means that they mixed their DNA, and they do have DNA. Those giants, those monsters, that was from the fallen angels. mixed their DNA with these particular animals right here and made these other abominations. Okay? To continue here, chapter 8, and Azazel taught men to make swords and knives and shields and breastplates, and made known to them the metals of the earth, and the art of working them, and bracelets, and ornaments, and the use of antimony, and the beautifying of the eyelids. That's for you ladies, your eyeshadow. Yeah, that's what that's beautifying the eyelids, your little eyeshadow and stuff like that. Must admit it does look good though. You know, and all kinds of costly stones. That's the diamonds and pearls, you know, that is much coveted. And all coloring tinctures. That's your dyes. You want to dye stuff, you know, dye your clothes, whatever. And there arose much godlessness, and they committed fornication, and they were led astray and became corrupt in all their ways. Semjaza taught enchantments and root cuttings, amoros, and resolving of enchantments. Barakiah taught astrology. Y'all know what astrology is? Y'all birth signs. Well, I'm a Taurus, I'm a Leo, I'm a Pisces. Kokobel, constellations. That's reading the stars. Ezekiel, the knowledge of the clouds. Ezekiel, the signs of the earth. Shamziel, the signs of the sun. And Siriel, the course of the moon. And as men perished, they cried, and their cry went up to heaven. Okay? And here in chapter 9 it says, and then Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel looked down from heaven and saw much blood being shed upon the earth, and all lawlessness being wrought upon the earth. And they said one to another, the earth made without inhabitants cry the voice of their cryings up to the gates of heaven. And now to you, the holy ones of heaven, the souls of men make their suit, saying, bring our cause before the Most High. And they said to the Lord of the ages, Lord of lords, God of gods, King of kings, God of the ages, which is known as the Ancient of Days, the Most High himself. The throne of thy glory standeth unto all the generations of the ages, and thy name holy and glorious, and blessed unto all the ages. Thou hast made all things, and power of all things hast thou. And all things are naked, and upon it thy sight, and thou seest all things, and nothing can hide itself from thee. Thou seest what Azazel have done, who have taught all unrighteousness on earth, and revealed the eternal secrets which were preserved in heaven. It's amazing all this stuff was preserved in heaven, you know, which men were striving to learn. And Semjaza, to whom thou hast given authority to bear rule over the associates, and they have gone to the daughters of men upon the earth, and have slept with the women, and have defiled themselves, and revealed to them all kinds of sins. And the women have borne giants, and the whole earth has thereby been filled with blood and unrighteousness. And now behold, the souls of those who have died are crying and making their suit to the gates of heaven, and their lamentations have ascended and cannot cease because of the lawless deeds which are wrought on the earth. And thou knowest all things before they came to pass, and thou seest these things, and thou dost suffer them, and thou dost not say to us what we are to do to them in regard to these. Okay? This is how deep it is, man. I mean, and look, here's the deal. We are still suffering to this day from this great atrocity that took place all those hundreds and thousands of years ago. You understand? That's just what it is, people. See, people would be a fool not to believe this right here. You are set apart from the truth, and that's not a good thing. Let's listen to what the Most High had to say about it when he answered the angels. Then said the Most High, the Holy and Great One spake, and sent Uriel to the son of Lamech, and said to him, Go to Noah, and tell him in my name hide thyself, and reveal to him the end that is approaching, that the whole earth will be destroyed, and a deluge is about to come upon the earth, the whole earth that is, and will destroy all that is on it. And now instruct him that he may escape, and his seed may be preserved for all generations of the world. And again, the Lord said to Raphael, bind Azazel, hand and foot, and cast him into the darkness, and make an opening in the desert, which is in Dutiel, and cast him therein, and place upon him rough and jagged rocks, and cover him with darkness, and let him abide there forever, and cover his face, that he may not see light. And on the day of the great judgment, he shall be cast into the fire, and heal the earth which the angels have corrupted, and proclaim the healing of the earth, that they may heal the plague, and that all the children of men may not perish through all the secret things that the watchers have disclosed, and have taught their sons. Okay, you see that? So they don't. So basically, when you get rid of these watchers, that's what I'm talking about. The watchers, when you get rid of them, we won't perish. You understand? But we're paying the price right now for the sins of our ancestors that a lot of people like to worship as well. Okay, to continue. And the whole earth has been corrupted through the works that were taught by Azazel. To him ascribe all sin. Sounds like to me Azazel is actually the devil himself. To continue. But they say his name is Hasatan, Satan, and all that. Obviously, Beelzebub, whatever. He has a lot of different names. But I believe this is him right here, Azazel. Now it says here, and to Gabriel said the Lord, proceed against the bastards and the reprobates, and against the children of fornication, and destroy the children of fornication and the children of the watchers. Children of the watchers is who? The giants themselves, from amongst men, and cause them to go forth. Send them one against the other, that they may destroy each other in battle. For length of days shall they not have, and no request that they, i.e., their fathers, make of thee shall be granted unto their fathers on their behalf. Other words, ain't no getting out of this. They ain't finna be saved for what they did. For they have to live an eternal life, and that each one of them would live 500 years. And the Lord said unto Michael, go bind Simjaza and his associates who have united themselves with women so as to have defiled themselves with them and all their uncleanness. And when their sons have slain one another, and they have seen the destruction of their beloved ones, bind them fast for 70 generations in the valleys of the earth. And here go one of his descendants right here, keep popping up. Get. Let me see, destruction. Where was I at? Slain one another. Okay, and they have seen destruction of their beloved ones. Bind them fast, 70 generations. Okay, I'm repeating myself. See, I got lost because I got distracted. Y'all forgive me for that. Slain one another in destruction. Okay, 70 generations. Okay, in the valley of the earth till the day of their judgment and of their consummation. Till the judgment, that is, forever and ever is consummated. In those days, they shall be led off to the abyss of fire. See, there's a hell. That's an abyss of fire. And to the torment and the prison in which they shall be confined forever. And whosoever shall be condemned and destroyed will from thenceforth be bound together with them to the end of all generations, and destroy all the spirits of the reprobates and children of the watchers, because they have wronged mankind. Destroy all wrong from the face of the earth, and let every evil work come to an end. Let the plant of righteousness and the truth appear, and it shall prove a blessing. The works of unrighteousness and truth shall be planted in truth and joy forevermore. Now let's quickly go over here because I'm about ready to run out of time right here. But here's in the Bible here, 2 Peter 2:4. For if Yahweh spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment. That's where the watchers are now, the fallen angels. Jude 1:6. Here again. And the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he have reserved in everlasting chains under darkness unto the judgment of the great day. So that right there is a precept that backs up what the book of Enoch just said about what is to happen to these monsters right here. See, here it is right here. The fallen angels, those watchers, they are reserved unto judgment under the earth, held in chains of darkness, but their children float around here in spirit now, and here's one of them. You understand? That's all I got on this one, people. I hope you guys found this particular lesson edifying, and I hope I said something to actually stimulate spiritual growth. Tell me what you think about this particular lesson right here. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And people, please remember to live your life as though we're being watched, simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.